Good morning, everybody. How we doing? Awesome. My name is Jay Berhuski. I am the Director of Youth and Family Services here in town in the Wayland Prevention Coalition. I've probably seen most of you at some point in time in a wellness class or somewhere. If not, nice to meet you. I love doing this every year. I come in and I get to do some activities with you guys, have some fun. Hopefully you learn a couple things in the process. So we're going to head and jump right in. I'm assuming all of you, and this is a rare moment to say something like this in school, have a phone or a computer with you. I am not going to encourage you to put them away right now. That being said, they're of a very specific use. The only thing I want you to use them for, and if you happen to have a piece of paper and a pencil or a pen, it's even better to use that, but if you don't, you can use your phone to take a note, basically. Because the thing that you're going to have to do is mark down some guesses at some point in time. I have basically 4 really simple questions for you today, but we're going to talk through a lot of it. Question number 1 is this. What do I have in my hand? A cup? What's in the cup? What do you think? What was that? Gummies, candies, sour candies. I can guarantee you there are Sour Patch Kids in here, and there are some trolley sour crawler things in here. How many of you guys like sour candy by a show of hands? Cool, most of you. Awesome. Here's the deal. Without talking to anybody else, so basically the room should be silent for the next handful of minutes. I will walk around. I will show everybody this cup. You can look at it. You can count. You can come up with any equation that you possibly have. The only thing that you can't do is you cannot open it and you can't dump them out and count it. So basically, just by looking, I want you, without consulting with anybody else in this room, and please try to honor that, to make a guess at how many sour candies are in this cup. Everybody got that? Any questions? Cool. I'm going to start over here this round. I'll kind of zoom around, take a look at it. Remember, don't talk amongst yourselves right now. I know it's challenging, especially for those of you guys who are over there just hanging out with each other. Keep your guess to yourself, but please write it down or lock it into memory so that you have it and so that you can reference it again later. Remember, don't share your guesses with each other yet. It's coming around, people are being awesome and passing it along. Don't forget your friends in the front too. Great. You just remember that you can have, that you're going to need to remember this multiple times. So if you need to write it down or document it, put it somewhere. We'll talk about it.
No, it's like the video. If you get it right, you get out of it.
Did you guys get a chance to see the cup? I don't think you made that yet.
Yeah. Wait, no, John did go. Josh won when he said how many you were there. Yeah. Josh won up when he
want to kind of get into groups over here, so you guys want to take us out of the
You can't count. I don't know why you remember to keep your answers to yourself so far, everybody? We'll have time to share, I promise. Wait, but I'm using keeping inches. How many people make it? You can't build into it. I felt that's something that I said you can't build into it. Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to actually move these along a little bit right now.
Oh, I'm pretty much just trying to
Ice beverage. Along over here, you're almost up, guys. Don't discuss amongst yourselves, yes. Please. You'll learn. What? You can't ask anybody that. I told you that you can only. Right now, you're just making your own personalized guess. have them here in the jar. You can't talk about it. It's just to yourself. So make sure that you can document it so you know your answers. Go ahead and pass it back, dude, so everybody else can take a look as well.
16
Or down.
float out.
Your neighbor has to take a good look while they have it.
Wait, one float out is 29.
Keep your theories to yourself for a minute, guys. I know this is a long way to think about this, but we're going to talk about it in a second. I hear a little group of things over here. Please hold off. You'll have a chance, I promise.
No, but we're not discussing, we're just talking. So like not answer it's like the answer is
I get it.
May I accept the cup again?
You'll get a chance, I promise. I'm not trying to cut this side short, but I'm going to give you guys like 35 seconds of the collaborative unit. So no, you can come over, you can move. I'll make sure that you get a chance, don't worry. This isn't your final chance either, so don't worry about that. All right, everybody. Can I have your attention, please? All right. Questions for you. What did I ask you to do? What's the first thing I asked you to do? Guess how many and write it down or document it somewhere, right? Are you allowed to talk to anybody else? Where are people talking? Cool. I don't have a problem with that. That all being said, that's all I asked for so far. I said, how many sour candies are in this cup? Figure out a reason. Document it in some way. Let me ask you another question. What do you think the goal of this assignment is? What are you going to win? Why? Absolutely. But did I tell you that you're going to win it yet? No. So maybe you're playing for it. Maybe you're playing for 20 bucks that's in my pocket. Maybe you're playing for nothing. You don't know that yet. We all follow directions in different ways. We all assume things in a million different ways, right? The only thing I said so far is guess how many candies are in that cup. I asked you to do it by yourself. I asked you not to share information yet. Is this all lining up for everybody? Cool. Does anybody want to volunteer what they've guessed so far?
84.
If you have a guess, raise your hand so I know.
84.
84? Cool. I don't want any reasons yet. I just want answers. 47? I'm going to take two more from over here. 89? Keep it down, guys. Keep it down all the way in the back. How much? 79. I don't hear well, so if I ask you to repeat yourself, just shout it out there. Over here. 121. Right here. 220. Right here. 137. Right here. How much? 72. I'm going to take one more from this section all the way to the back corner.
85.
85. I'll take 3 from over here.
131.
131. Back there. I'm sorry, what was that?
63.
I can't hear, I'm sorry.
63.
63, thank you. I played music for too long, my ears don't work anymore. Right there. How much? 68. Cool. All right. I promise you before this is over, you're all going to get a chance to share, and you're all going to get a shot at winning something. Now, what I can tell you right now, based on the numbers here, is that nobody got it yet. That being said, it is somewhere between the lowest number up there and the highest number. So you have a range. The lowest number currently is 47 on here, I believe. Yep. And the highest number is 137. Actually, no, sorry, the highest number is 220. I'm going to give you guys a hint and tell you right now that it's between 47 and 137. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a big 100-point sweep there that you guys just got more information out of me. So, you have a little bit of information now. I want 3 people who are super confident right now that you have a winning strategy to determine how many sour candies are in that jar to raise your hand. If you think that you have like a really solid understanding of how you're going to get to a number, raise your hand. Cool. You don't have to be brave. Oh, we got one. Great.
You pick the middle number and it's higher or lower.
Okay. So your strategy is to pick the middle number and then figure out higher or lower. Okay. So you're going for like rule of average, basically. Cool. What else? Anybody else have a really thinking a winning strategy?
Volume of the cup by average volume of candy.
Okay. So you're taking a much more scientific approach. Do you know what the volume of that cup is?
I got 480 cubic centimeters.
Okay. And do you know what the volume of the candy is?
No. Wait, what did we get? We decided like 2.5.
Okay. So you have a formula. Like you have a strategy in place. You know
It's
it.
not right. But
It may or may not be right, but you have a starting point. So we have average, we have science. Anybody else have a really compelling case for why they're guessing?
My gut.
Your gut feeling, absolutely. Awesome. Let me pause you there for 1 second. How do we make decisions? General decisions, not the decision that I'm actually asking you to make right now. How do we generally make decisions? What was that? Use your brain, absolutely. What else?
Take the information you're given and reference past experiences.
Great. So you have the information that you're given, and then you reference past experience. So you have learned experience. We all have learned experience from being alive and figuring out how you navigate through this world, how you stay safe, how you get what you want. What else?
Observation and intuition.
Observation and intuition, absolutely. What else? Those are all great things. We're forced to make decisions each and every day. We make decisions about what we're going to eat in the morning, what time we're going to get out of bed, do I take a shower or not, what clothes do I put on my body, who do I interact with, who do I ask for help? Do we generally ask people for help for things when we know that they don't have the answer? No. Who do you typically seek out when you're looking for information?
Google.
Google? What else? You guys already said it. Your parents? People that maybe know it? Like one of those things where like you seek out information where you feel like people might have it. For instance, I know Mr. Barry is a wellness teacher. I might go to him for wellness information. I also happen to know that he likes music and that he DJs and he can dance. I hope I'm not sharing anything that you wouldn't normally share. So if I had questions about those things, maybe I'd go to Mr. Barry and ask him about it. I'm probably not, I mean, maybe I'm way off on this one, but I'm probably not going to go to Mr. Barry for like astrophysics-like information.
Not a good source. No.
Great. So figure out what your source of information is and why you're asking them that. The next thing I'm going to ask all of you to do, and please try to honor this once again. You can pick one other person in the room right now. Pick a person and go talk to them about why they chose what their answer is. With just one person. You can talk amongst your neighbors, you can move around, it's up to you. I'll give you 3 minutes. If you got it, yeah. Green. 'Cause You guys have 1.5 more minutes for this portion of the equation.
Were the candies put in warm or cold?
Room temperature. I purchased them and then I put them in the cup. Counted it.
No, it's not the expansion, it's how they arrive. Because if they're over, they're gonna like.
30 seconds, everybody, 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. Cool. Thanks for wrapping that up. All right. So once again, question for you. What did I just ask you to do? Talk to who? One person. How many of you guys actually talk to just one person? Cool. Thanks for being honest. Cool. It's really hard also, because the other thing I'm asking you guys to do is I'm asking you to limit yourself. And generally in life, when you move through this world, you're not limited to just going and asking one person. You get to decide whether or not you're going to follow the rules of the game. You get to decide if you're going to bend the rules. You also realize probably already that there's no real consequences if you don't follow the rules, right? Did I set out any consequences for all of you yet? No. Every day we have to make these decisions of like, how am I going to get my information? Who am I going to talk to? What decisions am I going to make? Am I going to follow the rules? Am I going to try to bend the rules? How many of you guys have ever broken a rule before? Hopefully all of your hands are up because I can guarantee you all of you have. When do you decide to break rules? How do you decide if you're going to break a rule or not? Yeah, so if you know the consequences are pretty like non-influential, where like you're not going to jail, you're not losing massive amount of privileges, you're not going to die, You're not going to do all these things. If they're minimal consequences, you're probably going to choose to do that. What else? I'm sorry, what was that? When you want to start a revolution, absolutely. Break the rules when you don't agree with what's going on. I'm here for that. What else?
When the rule is wrong.
When the rule is wrong, when you disagree with it. Yeah, like when basically you have like a moral or principle level disagreement with something, or you can prove that it's wrong. You're like, let's talk about it and figure that out. What else?
When following the rule is inconvenient in some way.
Sure, when following the rules is inconvenient. How many of you guys have your license? Anybody? How many of you guys have ever driven over the speed limit? Absolutely. How many of you guys have ever driven without a seatbelt on or rode in a car without a seatbelt on? How many of you guys have texted and driven? Yeah, like things that you shouldn't do, but generally speaking, if you're like running late and you don't think there's going to be a cop in an area and you push it that 5, 10, 15 miles per hour over the speed limit and you don't get caught, did you get in trouble? No. Did you break the rules? Was there a potential consequence? Yeah. You like pros and cons. You're weighing those consequences, you're taking in information, and you're making a decision. You probably also subconsciously accepted the fact that if you do get caught, that like whatever the consequence is for that action, not the end of the world. Clearly speaking, I'm probably not going to penalize you all that much. You also still don't know what you're playing for. And the fact of the matter is, you're like, I also probably don't care if I win a cup of sour candy, I can go buy it myself, or whatever else this person might be giving you. But I did ask you the question to talk to one person. How many of you guys changed your answer from round 1 to round 2? Cool. How many of you guys stuck exactly with your answer? Awesome. Can I ask you a question for those who stuck with it? Why did you stick with it? Because it's right. Did I tell you that any of those answers up there are right? Did I ask you your answer originally? I did. And I told you that there's no right answer up there. But you're going for it. And the fact of the matter is, good for you. I could also be lying to you and you wouldn't know. That all being said, just stubborn intuition, you're sticking with it. Who else didn't change their answer? I saw a couple of other hands. You stuck with yours too?
Yeah.
Did I ask you what yours was?
No.
Can I ask you what it is now? 75? Cool. And can I ask you how you came up with that? Is it still gut intuition?
Gut, looked at it.
Yeah.
Said 75.
Cool. You're like 75. Nice, even. I mean, it's technically an odd number, but like a comfortable number to say out loud. Great. Who else has a guess? Whether you changed your answer or not. Who has a guess now? 80? All right, 75, 80. Who else has a guess?
66.
66? 66. Back there. 56. 137? 110? 112? 86? Anybody over here? 81? Cool. I'll take 2 more answers. Who's really confident? 92. All right, and last one right there. 105. All right. Great. So, break it down. The 2 questions that have been asked so far. There's been a lot of questions, but the 2 direct ones were take a guess, reference one person, and talk and recalculate your guess. What I can tell you now is that your range has closed a lot. So before it was between 47 and 137, and now it's between 56 and 137. So you've closed the gap by 9 points. That being said, I'm going to help you out a little bit more. I'm going to tell you that it is between 92 and I'll give you another one. It's between 92 and 118. So your guess now is only a total of 26 points. You have 26 possible guesses. Now, bring it down, bring it down. We talked about where we source our information, we talked about the stuff. How often have you guys ever blindly just crowdsourced information? Like you go to a group of friends and you're like, hey, I have a problem, I have something that I need input on, whether it's like advice on how to deal with a friend, advice on what to wear to an event, advice on whether or not we should go to the event, like whatever it is that you're talking about. How many of you guys have ever just like randomly polled basically a group of your friends about a question? Probably most of you in some capacity. How many of you guys have blindly just gone to Google and just started asking it questions because you had a question that you might not have wanted to ask anybody else, so you needed an answer to it? Cool. We blindly look for information all the time. A lot of times it's in relation to whether or not we have, like, what the stakes are. In the sense that, like, how many of you guys have ever Googled something because you needed an answer for it because you were highly embarrassed potentially on talking about it to another human being? It's one of those things where you do it because basically it's this magical thing that we all have in our pocket now where you're like, hey, here's information potentially. Is everything on the internet true? Has anybody ever gotten bad advice from a friend? Yeah, it happens all the time. We constantly have to weigh these decisions and where we're getting our information from and how we're processing this information. With all of that in mind, I am going to give you 5 minutes. You can talk to as many people as you want in this room, and you can figure out whatever you need to figure out about how many sours are in there with the same rules, in the sense that you can't come open it, you can't count them, but you can talk to whoever you want. 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Is the answer 84? You're wrong.
Yes, you just get open, but you can do whatever you need to do to the rest. You have 3 more minutes, everybody. minutes, everybody. 2 minutes. One minute. Thirty seconds.
Yeah, okay.
10 seconds. All right, let's bring it back. Thanks, everybody. All right, so this time, what did I ask you to do? Talk. Figure it out, right? You got to go and you got to talk if you chose to with anybody in the room. I saw some people move around. I saw most people just kind of hang in their section. Totally fine. Quick question. Does it feel more or less comfortable to go ask questions of strangers? Or people that you're not in your immediate friend group or that you chose to sit next to? Generally less? Why? You don't know. You're putting yourself out there, you're being vulnerable, you're going to reach out to somebody that maybe you had a positive interaction with before, maybe you didn't have a positive interaction, maybe you don't know any information about. Every day we have to make choices about who we interact with, how we interact with them, figure out if it's worth the risk to go talk to them. Do they have the information? Do they have the product? Do they have whatever it is that I need? What am I looking at from this interaction? Do I want to be this person's friend? Do I want to interact with them? Is this solely the beginning of an informational transaction? Is it the beginning of a friendship? Why am I reaching out to this person? Could I ask a brave person who did move around? If I can ask you some questions. Did anybody move around that wants to volunteer? Cool. Why'd you move around?
Because I knew people in a different area.
Okay, yeah, so you knew them. There was a comfort level there. Cool. Anybody else?
I wanted to spread my information.
You wanted to spread your information. Absolutely. Awesome. So you're sharing information, whether it's right or wrong, but you felt pretty confident in it. Or maybe you were trying to trick people and give them the wrong answer. Who knows? I'm not blaming you. I'm not saying that's what you did. What else? Did anybody move around because they really thought they were confident that somebody else had accurate information that potentially they wanted? What was that? You wanted to spread the mythical truth of 84? Awesome. I appreciate that. Yeah, we make choices. Obviously, still, this is a low-stakes assignment. You guys are all just sitting here as part of Winter Week. You came in. Maybe you knew me, maybe you didn't. I'm just this person that's up here with a cup of sour candy that you may or may not win. All of that being said, low stakes, low issues. Who thinks that they have the right answer? Cool. What do you think it is?
103.
103. Cool. Who else thinks they have the right answer? 112. Who else thinks they have the right answer? Go ahead.
115.
115? 106? I need to pick a different mic. 115? Thank you. Keep going, thank you. 108? 97? Take two more over here. 84. 84? 114. All right, one more, right there. Yeah.
111.
111, absolutely. All right. What I am willing to tell you guys right now, bring it down, bring it down. One of the numbers on the board is in fact the right answer. But wait, I didn't tell you who. It could be 84. I could have been gaslighting you all along. It could be any number of those. It could be 103, 112, 115, 106, 115, 108, 97, 84, 114, or 111. That is up to you. Bring it down. Here's what I'm going to ask you to do right now. I want it to be pin drop silent in here. I don't want you to talk to anybody. I don't want you to reference anybody anymore. In the end, every single decision we make is ultimately your decision. You get to make that choice for yourself. Some of them have really low consequences, like whether or not potentially you guess the right number of sour candies in a cup. Other ones have much larger consequences. But every day, every single thing that you do is a choice, believe it or not. I know some of us don't feel that way. Like, let me ask you a question. How many of you guys came to school by choice today? Show of hands. You came here by choice. Cool. I have a secret for all of you. You all chose to be here. There's consequences if you didn't choose to be here. Whether it's from your parents, whether it's from the school, whether it's legally, whether it's like your GPA, whether it's not you can play in your sporting event, like whatever it is. But you all chose to do that. We all have free will. We all have the ability to get up and say, I'm going to do this today. You could have gone and told your parents that you were sick. You could have made up some other excuse. You could have just flat out denied it. You could have walked out the door and not shown up here. Those are all choices that you're choosing to make. Luckily, most of you guys are making awesome choices that have little consequences. You showed up. You're here. It's also winter week. You're not being required to do a whole lot of things other than hang out with people like me. But that being said, you made that choice. Whether somebody put food in front of you or not, you made the choice of whether or not you were going to eat it. Just remember that you are the person that is driving you. You get to make those choices. So the last choice I'm asking you to make, in pin drop silence, how many candies are in the cup? When you have an answer, raise your hand. If you don't have an answer, don't raise your hand, but then you're also not participating. You can make that choice as well. What do you got? Yep.
97.
97. Next.
108.
108. Just keep going down the line.
111.
111. Good.
115.
115. Next row. Anybody in that row we're going to go? Top row.
114.
114.
112.
112.
106.
106.
110.
110. Next row. Anybody? Right there.
106.
106. Next. 115.
111.
111.
106.
10 what?
106.
106. Yep.
115.
115. Anybody else?
111.
111. Anybody else over here?
98.
98. Anybody else over there? 114.
111.
111.
103.
103. 112. 111. 108. Anybody else? 97. Anybody else? Last call.
97.
97. Did I miss anybody? If I did, stand up so I can see you. Cool. We have 3 minutes. I'm going to let you know too. Once again, first of all, thanks for participating. Second, the prize actually will be your carrot, the jar of candy, so that is going out. Third, somebody's going to have to make a decision. As far as I know, there are a couple of people who guessed the right answer. Let me ask you all another question. Did I ever limit who you could talk to in the room? In the beginning I did. In the beginning I said talk to yourself. The second round I said talk to one person. Third round I said talk to as many people as you want to. Let me ask you another question, because we asked and talked about where you source your information from. Who had the answer? How many of you guys came and talked to me? A couple of you. Did I tell you the answer? What? You can admit it now. Did I tell anybody the answer that came and talked to me? What did I tell you if you came and talked to me? I said, here's the answer, please don't tell anybody else. And I wrote it down for you. I had the answer all along. We often overlook the most obvious solution. We often make things far harder on ourselves than we have to. We make things bigger in our minds. We make things bigger in our bodies. How many of you guys have ever felt immense stress and anxiety before because you knew you were going to get in trouble about something? You've been caught in a lie, you didn't perform well enough, you did something that just gave you like paralyzation where all you wanted to do was hide in the dark room. Don't make that mistake. If you know where you can get the answer, take care of it. If you guess 112, come get candy. Thank you so much, everybody. Whoever gets 112, you have to share this, figure it out amongst yourselves. I am not here to divvy this up. Somebody can also be super awesome and take the little candy instead.